Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, hi and welcome back to the Baseball Head. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So again, I want to mention a couple of things. I want to welcome a new member to the channel, Greg Zeman. You see his name up here. Also on the side here, you see when you go on your mobile device or you go on your computer, you'll see the members all displayed. And of course, I love seeing this. It's a great way to show that people do support the channel. I want to get some more people in here. And what is interesting about it is it randomly comes up. So if we get more people, you got to keep an eye out for what happens every day in terms of who is going to be on there. I would mention if you don't have like a picture or an avatar on your account, put one up. Put a picture of yourself or whatever you want to put up. It'd be a great way to support me. It's also interesting to look at. Interesting for me to look at as well, and I think that's great. I would hope that people put different kind of pictures on there, not just a letter G or F or FU HUD. I mean, but I would hope that you try to be a little bit more. But anyway, the reason I'm looking for members is so I can get a new computer, so I don't have to do these videos on the phone anymore. You have better audio, better video, and just you'll get everything else that I provide here. But we'll get more people in here. That's the purpose. And also the goal is to get about 30 to 40 people in here to be able to afford to get a computer and do the payments every month. So I have an eye on a computer I think would be really good that has the editing systems and recording systems within the computer. So, but what this video is about the free agents and the players that could be traded this offseason. We're almost to spring training. We got another 6 more weeks of spring training. And I'm not going to play the bell. I've got a lot of complaints about the bell. A lot of complaints. So I'm going to curtail the bell. And plus, as I'm recording, it's kind of late this year. Don't want people thinking that, there's like what am I doing here? What is this, like a hotel? Anyway, first up, as you know, Juan Soto, there was so much constipation or consternation about where Juan was going to go. He picked the right team, and the Mets picked the one player they needed to get, and that's Juan Soto. And he's gone to the Mets on a 15-year, $765 million contract, and it's wonderful. It's great to see. He's 26 years old. What a great player he's going to be. And I would mention that he was very much in shape last week, and they were showing him doing all these exercises. He looked pretty good, getting ready for spring training. Next up is Corbin Burnes. He went in a surprise move in the middle of the night to the Diamondbacks. Apparently he and his wife are from Arizona, and they signed with the Diamondbacks. The Orioles will get a qualifying offer. The Orioles are a mess. Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso looks like he's probably going to return to the Mets. I've been sticking to that, and though the percentages have gone up and down the last few days. I think the percentages are going back up slightly. That he'll return to the Mets, and hopefully he finishes his career here, to be honest with you. Great player. Alex Bregman, where is he going to go? I think the Bregman-Alonso situation are kind of tied together to a certain degree. With the Mets signing Alonso and Bregman, I highly doubt that. I know they're looking for another infielder, the Mets. I know that they're looking for another outfielder. They're looking for more offense after Pete. So, but Mets have to sign Pete first. And I mentioned about Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman, they both have qualifying offers. So if they go to any other team other than the original team that they were with, they'll have to, the other team will have to surrender a draft pick. Willie Damas, he signed with the Giants. A very good move for them. Shane Bieber re-signed with the Guardians. Jack Flaherty's still available. I've heard the Dodgers, the Mets, the Angels, the Yankees, and Detroit. Blake Snell signed a big contract with the Dodgers. Big payday. He had an okay year. He had a big second half. Hyun-Sung Kim, he's the other Kim. He's been in the majors. I've heard Seattle, the Angels, White Sox, Houston, San Diego back there, Detroit, and the Yankees. I know the Yankees are looking for another infielder. Anthony Santander. Recently heard the Mets if they don't get Pete. The Cubs, Seattle, Toronto, San Francisco, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Detroit. Kansas City's done very little other than re-sign Michael Wacha. Matt Chapman signed at the end of last season. Max Kepler signed with the Phillies. Ross Stripling's still out there. Justin Turner, I've only hit Seattle with him. Max Scherzer, I've heard Washington, Braves, and the Mets. I don't see the Mets going there. Max Fried signed with the Yankees. Carlos Estevez, I've heard Texas, Oakland, Toronto, the Cubs. Maybe Toronto's out of that part of the closer role. And you'll find out later in this video. The Cubs and the Mets. These closers want to be closers. They don't want to be set up. However, there's a big reliever that might be coming to the Mets. Paul Goldschmidt signed with the Yankees. Kyle Hendricks, the Angels. Aroldis Chapman, Red Sox. Tristan Walker went to the Astros. He had a qualifying offer. I would mention Max Fried had a qualifying offer. Walker Buehler went to the Red Sox. Michael Conforto went to the Dodgers. Frankie Montas signed with the Mets. It doesn't look like Framber Valdez, who will be a free agent next year, will be traded. Carlos Correa's not been traded. He's not getting traded. Tyler O'Neill signed with the Orioles. Gio Urshela signed with the Athletics. Justin Wilson signed with the Reds. Keep an eye on Jurickson Profar. I had the Mets on this thing, the Padres in Kansas City. I expect that if they sign Pete Alonso, they'll try to bring in another, like I said, infielder, and he plays the outfield too. I could see them doing that. Jesse Winker, I've heard 3 teams involved with him: Cincinnati, the Mets, and the Toronto Blue Jays. Sean Manaea re-signed with the Mets. Luis Severino signed a big contract with the A's. The Mets got a draft pick. Jose Quintana, I heard recently, the Blue Jays, but I've seen Texas, Cincinnati, the White Sox going back there, Detroit, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. Luis Castillo, I don't think he's going to get moved, but his name's been mentioned. Teoscar Hernandez went back to the Dodgers. The Mets tried to get him on a 2-year deal. Justin Verlander signed with the Giants. Gleyber Torres signed with the Tigers. Nathan Eovaldi re-signed with the Rangers. Michael Wacha re-signed with the Royals. Keep an eye on Tanner Scott. I believe that there's a good chance he'll be going to the New York Mets. Travis d'Arnaud, the Angels. Yusei Kikuchi, the Angels. Kirby Yates, keep an eye on him. He might go back to the Rangers. Another guy the Mets could bring in. Jeff Hoffman, the Blue Jays, just signed with the Blue Jays, so he's going to be their closer. And I had him on my list. Clay Holmes signed with the Mets on a 3-year deal. He's going to be a starter with the Mets. Surprisingly, Matthew Boyd will be went to the Cubs. Jock Peterson signed with the Rangers. Nick Pavetta's still out there. I'm surprised. Probably all likelihood he'll probably go back to the Red Sox. He turned down the qualifying offer, but we'll see. Nick Martinez re-signed with the Reds. A.J. Minter, I've heard with the Mets, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. Tomoyuki Sugano, he signed with the Orioles. Roki Sasaki, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, Toronto, the Angels, Texas, the White Sox, and the Cubs. Probably going to go to the West Coast, but maybe not after all those fires. Who knows? But we'll keep it. He's the big name. He's the really big name, especially on the pitching side and just overall right now. Shinozuki Okasara, Milwaukee, San Diego, the Mets, Cleveland, and the A's. Alec Boehm, I've heard he might be on the move again. I've heard Seattle, St. Louis, and the Angels. Garrett Crochet got traded to the Red Sox. Ryan Helsley, I don't think he'll get moved. Carl Santana resigned and went back to the Guardians. Alex Verdugo, I've heard Texas, the Pirates, and I've heard the Yankees earlier, but now it's the Mets. I've heard the Mets. I wouldn't do that. J.D. Martinez, heard nothing other than Twins early on. The closer market was very quiet. I've heard Pittsburgh, Atlanta, the Yankees, Toronto. That might be out now, and the Yankees might be out, and the Angels. Blake Trinan re-signed with the Dodgers. Jordan Montgomery, I've heard plenty of teams, but I think he'll stay there. I think the owner was mad, but I don't think they're gonna move him now. Luis Robert Jr., I've only heard the Pirates. Nolan Arenado, the hell knows where he's going. No clue. Brendan Rodgers, keep an eye on him with the Yankees. We'll see where he goes, but I've heard the Yankees prominently. Jordan Romano signed a contract with the Phillies. He's now the closer for the Phillies. Jeffrey Springs got traded. He's now with the Athletics. Josh Naylor, got traded to the Diamondbacks. Cody Bellinger got traded to the Yankees. Devin Williams traded to the Yankees. Kyle Tucker got traded to the Cubs. He'll be the big positional free agent next year. Dylan Cease is still out there. Luis Arias, I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole by the New York Mets. Jesus Luzardo got traded to the Phillies. Jeff McNeil, I don't believe he's getting moved. Starling Marte will get moved. Brett Beatty has a chance to get moved, especially if they re-sign Pete Alonso. But I've heard Oakland, Seattle, well, not Oakland, but the A's, Seattle, the Angels, Miami, Chicago, it's the White Sox, and the Brewers. Alexis Diaz could be on the move. Hearing that he might get moved in a trade. Arizona and the Mets. Marcus Stroman is probably going to get moved. They got a lot of depth there. They want to get rid of that contract and that personality in the clubhouse. The Cubs. Josh Bell went to the Nationals. Gavin Lux got traded to the Reds. So this is the free agents that are, and the players that have been traded so far this offseason, and the guys that are sort of sitting there pending. And half the free agents in Major League Baseball have not signed. The owners have figured out a way, that loophole around giving players big money. That's wait. They have the advantage of the clock. There's no clock in baseball, but when it comes to the calendar, as we go further along, the owners have learned, and the players at some point are going to pressure Major League Baseball to change that. That they're going to really push Major League Baseball to have like a deadline like they have in the NFL and the NBA, because players are going to get pissed off that they're losing money, and they always get mad when they lose money, and they will find a way around that to resolve that. They don't want to wait till the very end of February to sign right before spring training, and they lose millions of dollars, especially last offseason. That was a good example of that. So thank you for watching this video, and of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.